Denise from LoomHat.com, and on this video I want to give you a quick fix for these loose loops. First thing you're going to do is look for your working yarn, which is where your slip knot was. In this case, here's my working yarn, and I'm going to go to the opposite end. Now this is going to be true whether I'm working on a flat panel or I'm fixing the loops on a round object. I'm going to look for the other end. So if I'm working flat and it's like this, my other end is right here, right? If I'm working like on a hat. In this case, it's a flat panel. So all I'm going to do is just look for the other end. And here is my other end. And as you can see, this is the first loop on this end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull on that loop. And it's going to show me in which direction it's going as I pull it. You see that I just pulled here and it tightened up on this end. And then you can see that the loop, you can follow, and you can see that the loop is right here, right? So I can just pull, and I can just pull right here, and that starts to tighten up my loops. Now this is acrylic yarn, and yarn can get a little funny, like it doesn't want to cooperate, so you got to be patient with this. Don't pull too hard, because if you do, you can mess it up. Okay, so as you can see, real quick, that fast, I've already fixed these loops. Now here's my loop, and again, I'm going to follow where it's going. See, it comes around, and so I pull the next one. Now I used a U-wrap cast on here. In any knit cast on that you use, so if you use, like, let's say the flat one, same thing, it's gonna work. Okay, so you just keep pulling your loops to the other end. Now this is a flat panel, so my pulling these is not a big deal. I can pull to my heart's content, just as long as I don't shrink it smaller than, say, my other end if I want a perfect square. But when you're doing something like a hat, or where you need this to stretch, be very careful how much of this you pull, because you don't want to get carried away and you take away the elasticity from your knitted wear. Okay, but in this case, like I said, no biggie. So just keep pulling your strings, because you need to reach the other end. Every now and then you'll see one that, you know, might be a little too tight. Just go back and give it a little more yarn, since you have some here left over. Try to keep your loops even. So go back and take a look at it, so you don't have some that are like really small and some that are really big. Until you've cut your string, you can manipulate those loops so that you get most of them are the same size, because you still have extra yarn. See how it's cleaning up? The first time you do this, it's kind of shocking how much yarn, how much more yarn, excess yarn you have. It's just shocking. We're pulling up the last loops. Now the slip knot is a knot, so you have to find where that knot is, so you can kind of let it loose, and it can let you pull the string, and that is where you're going to find it at the end. Okay, I'm done. And now my edges look nice and clean.